This is so satisfying. The best part of painting anything ever. Yeah. But stop, we're getting a little bit ahead of ourselves here. First, we have to finish the keel, fiberglassing, and through holes before we can paint and put on the final touches. Scott's adding caulk at our keel joint. We have a bolt-on keel. There's still caulk underneath. We're just adding it for extra protection because we had to scrape some away to paint the primer and to do some rust abatement. So sorry, my nose is running. It's cold outside. So Scott and I have about equal fiberglass experience. He has just a little bit more than me. So I started off the fiberglass on the front, but I was struggling with the rudder a lot, so he's gonna jump on it today and see if he can fix my mistakes, because he's a nice guy. Yeah, it's already looking better than mine. He made it look pretty darn good. Even that corner, which was so hard to get, that was chipped all the way in backwards, and he just rounded it right back out again. My baby did a good job. After several attempts at removing corroded through-hole nuts from less than cooperative locations, with near impossible access, a side effect of linered boats, Scott decided to drill several holes into a straight line through the bronze nut, stopping just shy of the fiberglass and finishing the last remnants of bronze off with a hammer and wood chisel. Once this was done, he was able to use a large flathead screwdriver to pry the nut apart and effectively split it. Once removed, he used a 4-inch hole saw to enlarge the liner access hole, so a wrench would be able to be used in future replacements. So this is one of the bad through holes we took out. It was just starting to pink. It's one of the better looking ones, honestly. And this is a new one we're putting in. So pretty. Here's one of the bad through holes. They're all bad, but one of the worst off. What are you making there, Scott?
My own socket. $5 instead of $50 socket.
Clever who. None of the sockets we have will reach our through-hole nut. So Scott's just making one. Did it loosen?
Yeah.
Badass. Jade's prepping the surfaces for the tape. Thank you, Jade.
So, what are you doing?
Taping off the boat, getting it ready to paint. She's now all taped off and ready to paint. she's up in the sling, so all we have left to do is paint where the stands were keeping her up and underneath the keel, and do the last little bit of the through-hole work, and then hopefully she'll be in Monday, actually this time. Scott's adding the West System epoxy barrier coat to the bottom of the boat. Now that it's in the sling, I just ground down the bottom, which was the hardest thing I've ever had to do in my entire life, but Scott refused to videotape me being a badass and doing it. So just envision that in your mind. It was ridiculously hard, and this is what it looks like when you get the easy job and you're just putting the epoxy barrier on the bottom.
I'm sweating a blister.
After we put on the last finishing touches, it was time for Moksha to finally splash back into the water again. Daddy and daughter cooking up lunch for us today before we head out on our journey in a couple of days. Or tomorrow. We're still not sure yet. Who needs to know what you're going to do tomorrow, right?
Yeah.
Leaving tomorrow morning. I'm just taking a shower now, and we'll be leaving first thing tomorrow morning. Sunrise this morning. We're getting a little bit of a late start, but we're almost on our way. This is as close as we'll get to snow in Florida. My pillow is absolutely covered in frost. Look at this. Oh, it's frozen. Gross. Alabama-Florida state line. It's a little confusing. That is Florida. Those islands are Alabama. And that land over there is Florida. Yeah. So the line comes around the islands and back down again. I don't know if Florida's like, no, I want to go farther this way, or if Alabama was like, nah, those islands are mine. But one way or another, the line's really weird. And we made it, guys. Whee! After the hurricane, we were given a lot of MREs to help with everyone. So that's what we have on board. We're gonna try our first MREs. I think this is how you do it. Pop-Tart was in there. That's awesome. I'm gonna put the heater on the Pop-Tart. There we go. Look at the MRE dip. The Pop-Tart was awesome, and the MRE, and the, you know, crackers and jelly, but the actual MREs, it's pretty bad. At least this one. We have lots of flavors to choose from, though. Lots of barges. Very little area to be. That was a tight fit. We just got right through there. In Mobile Bay right now, we're rushing to get to where we're gonna be. There's supposed to be a rather large storm tomorrow, and those nice little clouds are starting to form there behind me. And as Scott says, they seem to say I'm windy. So, we maybe have an hour and a half more of sunlight and about an hour to get to where we're going, and no running lights yet because they were all taken out during the storm. So we can't be motoring at night, so we're rushing. We're trying to race the sun. We were so busy rushing and trying to get into port that I forgot to video us coming in, but we did make it just in the nick of time. Now here we are, nestled in our new home, Alabama.